In this video, we're going to be going over a massive winter storm that is going to be sweeping the Midwest and the East Coast United States. It's going to bring a lot of snow and even an ice storm and severe weather. Before we get into this, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of my videos in the future. Now look at the current GFS model. This is just coming out as I'm making this video. This is the 18Z run of the GFS model. So this is the latest information on this upcoming winter storm. You can see the time, which is in Central Time, in the top right corner. And as we move forward here, you can see we have some snow. We have that low pressure starting to form up at about 12 a.m. of Sunday, January 5th. And we're already starting to see some freezing rain start to pop up across eastern Kansas, much of central Kansas, and we're going to see a big time mix and ice storm part of this winter storm as well. We move forward throughout later of the day of Sunday. This is 6 a.m. Sunday Central Time. We're starting to see some heavier snow start to pop up across Kansas, Missouri, and starting to reach into areas like Illinois and Indiana. We're starting to see that mix in ice move eastward as well. And we're also expecting that severe weather down here in the south. Which we have a day 4 outlook for that. A 15% chance for severe weather down here in eastern Texas, going to Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. I do expect the chance for those tornadoes on Sunday as that winter storm moves through the central United States. And then we start to head through midday of Sunday. This is 12 p.m. Sunday. You're starting to see some much more heavier snow right next to that mix and freezing rain, and as well as that heavier freezing rain reaching into areas like St. Louis, much of southern Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, Missouri, and this goes as far eastward as central Kentucky. And we just continue to see that heavy freezing rain and heavy snowfall next to that heavy freezing rain. We're definitely going to see some high snowfall rates with these areas. And as you see, a lot of these heavier rains are popping up with the GFS model, which is again meaning we're going to see that severe weather down here in the south, as we typically see in the winter time with these strong winter storms, as we typically see a warm front and a cold front, which is that pattern for those severe weather outbreaks in the south. And with the storm, we head through the overnight hours of Sunday to Monday. We're going to have also a back part of this snowstorm, which is going to bring even more snow for these areas that just saw the heavy snow throughout the day of Sunday. That's going to continue throughout the morning hours of Monday. And as we start to see a lot of that snow move eastward into the mid-Atlantic and northeast, you're still continuing to see snowfall over here in Missouri and Illinois. So this is going to last throughout the morning hours of Monday. That snow finally starts to move out by 6 p.m. Monday, and then it's kind of just remnants by the overnight hours of Monday into Tuesday. Now here's some of those snowfall totals. This is for the western part of the storm. This is including Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, southern Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and parts of West Virginia. We're also going to look at the eastern part of the storm as well, but this is the main part of the storm. This is 10-to-1 snowfall ratio amounts, so 10 inches of snow per 1 inch of rain that has fallen. So looking over here in northern Kansas, we're potentially going to be seeing 10 inches of snow across some of these areas. But again, you are going to see that freezing rain part of the storm. So some of these snowfall amounts that are down here is actually going to be all freezing rain. That's not going to be accumulating as snow. That's going to be all accumulating as ice. But you're also going to see a mix of snow and rain and freezing rain all together. And when you get that, it's typical that there's not as much ice accumulating, and it's more of a slush. So there's going to be areas that vary between ice, mix, and snow. This is going to be the snow line pretty much. This is going to be the snow line pretty much right here. So take into account that St. Louis, anywhere above St. Louis, is probably going to be seeing snow. So areas like northern Kansas, you're going to be seeing snow, potentially upwards of 10 to a foot of snowfall in some of these more pinker areas. As you head further north, you're going to start seeing some less snowfall, as this is pretty much the main area of that heavier snowfall you're going to see. And you're going to see 2 rounds of snowfall pretty much from this storm. Northern Missouri, we're starting to see some larger amounts, like up to 15 inches of snowfall throughout some of these areas. When you get to more of these purpler colors, this is more of 6 to 7, maybe 8 inches of snowfall. Again, some of these areas are going to see more than expected, as this is just kind of an overall snow amount outlook. Every area is going to see a different amount of snowfall. Over here in northern Illinois, you can see we have some, you can see anywhere from a dusting of snowfall to potentially 4 inches of snowfall in northern Illinois. In central Illinois, again, more of those purple colors. You're going to see around 6 to 8 inches of snow, while more of these pink colors, you could potentially see from a foot of snow to 16 inches of snow. So, and these areas of the Midwest have not seen a snowstorm like this in a while, as last year was quite mild for this area. There was a decent snowstorm in 2022 or 2023, but this area doesn't typically see a big snowstorm like this in a while. So as you head further into Indiana, you're starting to see again more of those same amounts, a little less, but upwards of 15 to 16 inches of snow here in central Indiana. Again, as you head further north, you're going to see less and less snowfall. If this does head any further north, we are going to see that potential for lake effect snow across some of these areas in northwestern Indiana, in Michigan, as these models have been slightly changing, whether it's going to be more south or more north. But generally in central Indiana, I guess, again, you're going to see upwards of 15 inches of snow. As you head further south, you're going to see again that mix and freezing rain, especially across the Evansville, Indiana area. Over here in Cincinnati, you're going to see again that ice in mix. While central Ohio sees upwards of a foot to snowfall, even more than that possible. Up here towards the Cleveland area, you're going to see, again, not that much snowfall, but you're going to see a few inches of snow, maybe. It looks like Cleveland is right on that edge of a dusting of snow there. Now, looking at the mid-Atlantic snowfall amounts, you can see in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, you're seeing widespread amounts of 8 to 10 inches of snow in that purple color, and more of those bluer colors, you're going to see 2 to 4 inches of snow. And again, this area is going to see that ice and freezing rain. And here are some of those freezing rain amounts, which I've been mentioning. And as you can see, if this happens, this would be a major ice storm, probably of the decade. You are again see St. Louis right there. We're going to see kind of mix around St. Louis of snow and rain, and then just below St. Louis, according to the GFS model, this could move slightly south or more north, but we're getting closer to this event. This is happening on Sunday, so only about 3 days from now, and you're seeing ice amounts of upwards to an inch. The GFS model could be over exaggerating this a little bit, but as you can see, upwards of over an inch of ice in some of these areas. And in southern St. Louis, again, could potentially see quite a bit of ice from this, which could definitely cause some big time infrastructure damages. Southern Illinois, again, you're seeing some major ice amounts according to this model. Southern Indiana as well, big time ice amounts that you typically only see once in a long time. You're seeing some lighter ice amounts, but still over near a quarter of an inch of ice is still quite a bit of ice, and you're seeing over an inch across these areas. So big time ice amounts across these areas. If you are under any of this freezing rain storm, I would get prepared now for power outages, damages to city infrastructure. Trees will come down with this amount of weight for the ice. When you have this amount of ice, it causes a lot of weight on power lines, trees, anything that's sort of top heavy is definitely going to come down with this amount of ice on it. And roads will be extremely hazardous as well. But again, widespread ice amounts that go into Cincinnati, Evansville, Indiana, West Virginia could potentially see a massive ice storm as well. Now, looking at the NAM model, this is a little, and the GFS model definitely does over exaggerate a little bit, but this is still big time ice. So you can see we have over a quarter of an inch of ice possible across much of central Missouri. That's still a lot of ice. Even 0.44, half an inch of ice is still a lot of ice. And still could cause infrastructure damage. You can see near half an inch of ice across southern Illinois, southern Indiana, half an inch of ice as well. Kentucky, the NAM model brings a lot more ice to Kentucky, as you can see there, even heading upwards to an inch of ice in Kentucky, which is a major ice storm. This also heads into West Virginia, and the GFS model has this ice storm a little more south, and this actually brings potentially Cincinnati some more mix and maybe some more snow, according to the NAM model. So again, you're gonna have to be paying attention to this every day as the models change, as winter storms are hard to predict, especially for specific areas. But if you did enjoy the video, go down below and hit that big red subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them with my best knowledge on winter storms. Share this video with anyone that will be impacted by this winter storm. And as always, see you in the next one. Stay safe.